Welcome back. Today we are looking at the plug-in air ionizers, negative ion technology air review, a tool for high performance. Introduction. As someone who spends most of my time in a cluttered DIY workshop filled with wood scraps, resin molds, paints, and occasional soldering experiments, air quality is not something I can ignore anymore. I originally picked up the plug-in air ionizers negative ion technology air purifier 4-pack out of curiosity, expecting little more than a gimmick. Check the video description for the updated price link. However, it quickly became a subtle but powerful addition to my creative environment setup. This isn't a traditional bulky HEPA purifier, it's a minimalist plug-in air ionizer designed for continuous odor reduction and air freshness through negative ion technology. For hobbyists like me who constantly switch between different materials, adhesives, and crafting mediums, this device has found a surprising role in maintaining a more neutral and breathable workspace. In this review, it'll walk you through how it performs in real DIY environments, its strengths and weaknesses, and why it may be one of the most underrated tools for makers, creators, and workshop enthusiasts. When you work on creative projects regularly, especially woodworking, 3D printing, resin casting, or painting, you start noticing that odors and microparticles accumulate fast. Ventilation helps, but not always enough. I needed something that could quietly support air freshness without interfering with my setup or taking desk space. This is where plug-in ionizers come in. Unlike heavy air purifiers that require filters, maintenance, and floor space, this device simply plugs into a socket and works silently in the background. For a DIY hobbyist, that simplicity is gold. Negative ion technology releases ions that help neutralize airborne particles and odors. Plug-and-play design, no setup, no filters, no maintenance. Ultra-quiet operation, perfect for workshops, bedrooms, or office corners. Portable, lightweight, easy to move between rooms or project spaces. Odor reduction focus, works especially well for pet smells, smoke, and DIY material odors. 4-pack value allows multi-room coverage or workshop zoning. What impressed me most is how unobtrusive the design is. It blends into any workspace without drawing attention, which is ideal when your creative space already feels visually busy. In my workshop, I tested these ionizers in 3 different zones: a woodworking corner, a resin crafting table, and a small paint station. Each area had different odor and particulate challenges. After about 48 hours of continuous use, I noticed a subtle but clear improvement in air freshness. It wasn't like a dramatic wow moment, but more like realizing the room didn't feel heavy anymore. That's important in long DIY sessions where fatigue can be influenced by air quality. The resin station, which usually carries a strong chemical scent, became noticeably more tolerable. Similarly, the woodworking area felt less dusty in the air, especially during sanding sessions. While it doesn't replace ventilation or a full filtration system, it acts as a supportive layer in air management. The build is simple but functional. It's a compact white plug-in unit that doesn't block adjacent sockets too much. For makers who care about aesthetics in their workspace, this minimalist design fits perfectly into modern studio setups. There are no moving parts, no filters, and no complicated interface. That's actually a big advantage for DIY users who prefer tools that just work without maintenance distractions. From a hobbyist perspective, the biggest strength of this device is consistency. It doesn't try to impress with flashy features, it quietly works in the background. Over time, this consistency builds a noticeable improvement in air comfort. In small to medium rooms, especially workshops, studios, and bedrooms, the effect is more noticeable. In larger open spaces, multiple units are recommended, which is why the 4-pack is practical. One thing I appreciate as a DIY creator is how it integrates into my workflow without interruption. I don't need to check filters, clean components, or adjust settings. I simply plug it in and continue building, painting, or experimenting. Interestingly, I also tested it near my storage shelves where wood and fabric materials are kept. Over time, it helped reduce that closed storage smell that often builds up in craft rooms. Check the link in the description to get yours today.